What makes the city of Columbus great? The culture, the people, the institutions. You're watching a CTV original, Heart of the City.
Columbus is a growing city with a growing cultural scene. And as we know, the arts scene is crucial to the city's economic development because it serves as one of the major influences that residents and businesses look for before settling in an area. Professional dancers, musicians, and theatrical companies from all over the country come to Columbus to perform. But as exciting as that is, we have a community of local artists who, in their free time and no pay, passionately put on live theatrical productions and enrich our community's art scene. We're going to take a look at 3 local theatrical groups and their quest to bring theater to our community on today's Heart of the City, All the World's a Stage. Vaudevillities is a nonprofit performance group that staged its first show in 1943, producing musical theater through singing and dance.
Well, we're having our second show out of 5 for Vaudevillities, and it's the magic of music this year. Great variety of music and comedy and dancing. Oh, it's a chance to unwind and get involved with other people, entertaining our friends, relatives, the community, and sing some music that can be funny, uplifting, passionate.
My name is Erin Gilmore. I'm a chorus member. I do have a couple of solos. This is my first full year. I was in the Christmas show in December, and this is my first spring show. You know, when you're outside in life, you perceive yourself in a different way than when you're at home. So in a way, you're constantly acting. But in my personal life, I'm always listening to theater, always listening to musicals. So in a way, I'm always involved in theater in some way. My favorite thing about performing is the people I get to perform with. It's an amazing group of people. There's so many different personalities and people, and we all come from different backgrounds. But together we form a unified group and a family. So being with them every week and rehearsing and then getting to perform this amazing show is wonderful.
That's as good as it gets.
Live theater is needed because it is this different format. It's a way to personally connect with people. Like I said, with a movie, you can shut yourself out. You can enter into a different world and not be present. In live theater, you're present. You're there for that moment, for the emotions, for the people.
Hi, I'm Karen McCurdy, and I've been in Vaudevillities about 13 or 15 years. I can't remember, to be honest. And I am an alto 1, and this is my daughter.
Hi, I'm Jody Wheeler. I've been in Vaudevillities since 1998. Past dance coordinator, current dancer. This is my maybe 20th show. I lost count. This is Aiden.
I'm her granddaughter and her niece. I'm Aiden McCurdy, and I did 3 shows, and I last year in the Christmas show played a role. Her name was Janie, and then I just do like a lot of the youth shows.
That's an exciting part of my life, to be with them here on stage. It gives them self-confidence. It shows how they can present themselves It helps, of course, with their singing and their dancing because we have choreographers who help them and we have people who help them with their vocals. So it's a great advantage to them, not only in their theater life, but in their private life. Wow, there's a lot of things that are my favorites. I think my family is tops, but after that, it's just being out there and giving it all you've got. And then being, of course, with all the people that are here with me that are performing, the entire cast, and even the tech crew are great.
Do the bass line. Our mission here is to engage with the community, not only in terms of a performance, but also to engage them to join the cast. And so it is, live theater is a great chance, especially community theater, to actually engage with the arts and with the audience.
I like to watch the people's faces as we perform. I like their feedback. It brings me a lot of joy. I think it draws people in the community into the area and gets them involved instead of sitting home reading a book or TV or video games. This gives them a chance to express how they feel and perform. Yeah. Come and see it first, and then try out if you want to, and we welcome everybody here.
This is Bailey. She's just found out that one of our character actors is feeling ill today, so she's pitching in and taking the part of Mrs. Corey in Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. How do you feel about that?
I'm really excited, and I'm pretty familiar with the song, so it's not that big of a deal. And it's theater, so stuff happens all the time. I've been doing theater for 2 years now. Theater, it feels great. I just love the energy involved in it, and it's just so fun, and everything about it is just amazing. Live theater is definitely way better than just going to see a movie because it's all real and it's all happening right then, right now in front of your eyes.
This show means a lot because historically I saw some of the first performances when it was done in a high school theater when I was a kid, and then it went moved to Vets in 1961, and I didn't join until 79. So I've been here for 40 years, and what it means, it's a great community, and that I know that response will come up from people all through your interviews, that it's a community, and it is.
Okay, that's more information than I needed to. I've been doing vaudevillities in particular since 1998. I started as a singer and a dancer, and this spring is my first spring as the show's producer, so I'm actually a marketing manager in real life, but like I said, I've been a singer and a dancer since I was 6 or 7 years old, and music has always been my passion. I remember going to the theater with my parents when I was a little girl, and it just brings such joy and such light into my life. And I think that that's what vaudevillities is to so many members of this cast, is it's their outlet, it's their release. Very few of us actually do theater for a living, so we're blessed to have this kind of opportunity in our lives. There's absolutely nothing like live theater. The energy in a live performance, there's just nothing like that. Both the audience and the cast really feed off of that same energy from each other, and it's just a beautiful, amazing thing. It's really hard to put into words, but you need to experience it for yourself. Support live theater. Support something like Vaudevillities, which is such a unique organization. It's not just like seeing a play or a musical, it's truly a musical review, and the cast truly is a second family. That's what keeps us coming back year after year after year, is that bond that we have as performers together.
Vaudevillities remains true to its roots and continues to dazzle audiences of all ages, while encouraging our youth to pursue the arts. Vaudevilities plays a major role in the community through partnerships and volunteer work. To get involved or to learn more, visit www.vvshows.org.
Columbus is a growing and thriving community, and for us to continue to grow and to continue to thrive, we need a very strong arts and culture community. The arts play such a pivotal role in the economic vitality of our city. That economic impact of being able to attract all those folks to Columbus to see those great shows. We have so many great partners in our community who are doing that work, and we're just very pleased and grateful for the work that they're doing each and every day.
Past Productions Columbus is a local theater group that presents the works of African American themed dramas and comedies.
But my baby boy almost froze going up and down those back steps to and from the color section. Seemed near about 5 or 6 stories up instead of just going in the front door like all the other children just because he want to see a movie. We all scared, Ruthie. We all going against everything we ever been taught. My name is Demia Kandai, and my passion for theater started when I was a young girl growing up on the South Side. We would watch Schiller, theater in the park at Schiller Park. And so that really, and then they would teach workshops, and I was able to participate in those workshops. And so as early as 5, theater has always just been something that I'm passionate about, that the ability to guide the audience, to orchestrate and convey a message, it's just powerful and intoxicating and life-changing.
We started Past Productions 6, 7 years ago. My husband and I and 2 friends decided we were tired of waiting for someone to do something in February that would highlight African American artists, especially middle-aged African American artists. So we got together and developed a Past Productions Columbus.
For me, there was no question that Past would be the theater house for me because they're a fully integrated theater company that not only showcases Black actors, but the Black experience, and not just for the African American community, but for the community at large. And so be it through quality playwrights, they're very protective of conveying the Black experience in a way that is relevant, and being able to be at a conduit for history or entertainment. There's nothing like it in Central Ohio.
Do we wait around for somebody to look for, oh, we need a Black actor or actress, let's see who's available? Or do we want to do our own stuff? So we did that. We all had this drive. My thing that I always tell people is I worked my 9 to 5 to feed my family, and I do theater to feed my soul. We all had full-time jobs. I'm retired now. I was working corporately in investments. My husband was a tax collector. Tony is still working, and he's an attorney, and Scott is in marketing. So, and we all have kids to raise and all this kind of stuff, but it was important to us to get that artistic bent out. And we find that some of the plays that we do have a historical bent, and it's a teaching moment. If nothing else, it'll open up dialogue. Well, I didn't know that, and hopefully not only to young people, but actually to older people, as in myself. It's a learning tool.
Activism is in my family, and so it's actually the proudest body of work that I've ever done. What we find unique, as we talked about in past commitment to showcasing the Black experience, what we're finding are these themes that whether we do a piece from 1920 or 2019, the themes are still there. And so that is what makes, I believe, what we do differently, because most of what we do on stage, we live.
Even with minimalistic set, the energy and the passion that we get out of our actors, you don't realize that you're just looking at some folding chairs, or you see what we are telling you that is up there. Okay, y'all, listen. I'll eat first, okay? Okay? I ain't got children depending on me or some man waiting on me somewhere, so I can do this without putting my loved one's livelihood in danger. Y'all's got people. I'm by myself. I'm all alone. So I can go to jail. I can get sick, but I'm all by myself. Nobody's gonna miss me. Shoot. They can poison me. If they poison me, I'm just gonna fall right down on the seat at the table or wherever it is, and y'all can bring in the newspapers and the cameras and take pictures of me while I'm drooling at the mouth. Oh, and I'm gonna drool too. Oh, I'll put on the Dolores Bradley show. They gonna think I got rabies if I live.
In any show that you're in, it's our family, it's our stories, it's our heritage, but it's done in a way that it doesn't become ours as in those on stage, it's everyone in the room. And that's what makes us unique. So regardless of your ethnicity, your age, it becomes your experience, because when we understand that the Black experience is a part of the human experience, then we understand that instead of highlighting our differences, we begin to see our similarities, and then we bring about a cultural intersection.
The importance of preserving our heritage is a necessity to elevating our community. To learn more, visit www.pastproductionscolumbus.com.
Live theater attracts you, brings you in, draws you in. Each and every time you see a show or hear some music, when it's live, it's a little different. And so you feel more part of it, you feel more connected to it. You see the human up there doing their thing to connect with you specifically. And that's something that only the best can come across on the silver screen. But it definitely happens when you go to a live recording or a live theater show.
Actors Theater of Columbus celebrates the possibilities of classic theater and literature, educating the community with literacy and artistic vision.
The thing that I love most about Actors Theater is that because we perform for free in a public space, we have a very different relationship with the audience than really not just any other theater company, but almost any arts organization. Most arts organizations, you need to go into a special place. You need to pay money to go inside, whereas we get to interact with people who are here just because they were in the park and became excited by what they saw happening on the stage. We get to form these communities every night of anywhere from 200 or 300 to 1,200 people who are picnicking together on the lawn, just enjoying what it means to be captivated by storytelling together. It's something kind of magic. You can't do that really any other place.
Founded in 1982 by Gary and Patricia Elson, performing Shakespeare productions in Schiller Park has kept its tradition for over 35 years.
So our first show was A Midsummer Night's Dream, and it was in June, I think. Yeah, June. And we didn't have everything that the company has now, so we got in costume and makeup at Pat and Gary's house, which was on Reinhardt, right across the street from the park. And then we trooped across the park in full, fairy costumes and everything. And everybody was asking us what was going on. So that's how we got like an audience to begin with. And then, we had to take down the set every night too. Where'd we store it first year? In a garage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Bud Alley.
Red Bud
Alley.
Alley.
For the first couple of years.
For the first couple of years.
Took it down every night.
Put it back up the next night.
All the gear, all the staging, everything.
And we borrowed your sound equipment.
That's how I got it started. Vicky made me give them their my extra sound equipment that I had from being a musician, and here I am.
It's not just the actors and the musicians, but it's all the folks behind the scenes, the stagehands, folks who really are part of a thriving industry, folks working to really make sure that we all get to have a good time when we go out to the theater.
Well, I also build the sets, and so we definitely get people wandering up and being like, "What are you doing?" Like, well, I'm building. And then we get to kind of talk to people about that, and that's, it has its pros and cons, because if I'm building, I need to be working, but ultimately, like, they're the people I'm here to serve, so it's pretty cool to have that.
A lot of times outdoor theaters have a natural amphitheater on the back, like it's at the bottom of a hill. And we have that to a certain extent, but there's not really a lot to bounce sound back from. So when it comes to supporting your voice and diction, I think that's more challenging in the park. And everything's just painted in broader colors. You don't have that intimacy of a smaller house. So I feel you have to rely on technique a lot more. And when it comes to directing, because it's a large space, you have to be mindful of distance.
Yeah. Sometimes the depth is nice, the distance is nice, because you can make bigger, bolder choices, and it will read as normal choices, and that's kind of fun. And sometimes the distance and the depth is harder, because as an actor, you have to make those big, bold choices instead of going into your comfort of facial expressions and acting from a place that's more intimate.
When the park was, it's not what it is today. It was a dangerous place at night. As a matter of actual fact, there wasn't any big housing boom. Nobody's house sold for $1 million. None of that was happening yet. The revitalization was just starting. Friends of the park, of Schiller Park, were kind of instant allies. And the people that, the people that now, I think, and that's an offshoot of the people who do the gardening work here now. So they were coming along, the city was cooperating. Everybody thought, this was time to rebuild this park, and it did. It accompanied the growth of, houses being refurbished and remodeled, and a whole boom of that here, and it's the German village that we now know. So.
And when you're rehearsing outside, and especially when the swords come out and we start having sword fight practice, all of a sudden people hear it, and you see people kind of come over the hill, and they start watching, and we get to sort of let them know what's going on. So it really invites this camaraderie with the community of, look what we made, we really want to show you, and that's pretty cool.
When you look out there and you see 500 to 600 people in the audience, and they're watching what your cast and your castmates are doing, it's amazing. I also love looking out there and seeing people who maybe have not been to another show before, but because we offer things to be free or whatever for donations, things like that, that people have access to see shows, and really very, very good quality shows that they may never ever see again.
The most exciting part for me is when we get, 5, 6, 7-year-olds who take a break from playing in the park, take a break from running around with a dog, and will come and sit down. Sometimes they'll just sit down on the stage to watch the rehearsals. They're so captivated by what's happening. And it's those kids who are going to be the ones who grow up to enjoy classic theater. And sometimes I think the rehearsals are maybe more engaging for them because it's a little safer for them to go up without the big crowd.
What we've found over the years is that it's real democratic, but more than that, a lot of children get sort of left here for the day, And you know, what we were doing down here was a window into a different world for them. Not that they would necessarily go into arts, but just the finding out that something else existed, I think would justify the existence of the whole place for 30 years to me.
They say if you do what you love, you don't work a day in your life, you know? So for me, it doesn't ever feel like work. Like I'm never like, oh, I have to go direct a play. I have to go play Lady M tonight. And I tell Sarah all the time, like, everyone needs to quit their whining because, and I told them the other night, I was like, one day you're gonna be 85 and nobody's gonna ask you to be Mercutio. So I'm really of the mind that I don't take it for granted. I've been there in my life when the phone isn't ringing and there are no job offers on the table. So when I have the opportunity, I do see it as a real blessing. It is a privilege to be able to do it. So I think that's really energizing.
There's this return, this energetic return on it, and you get what you give, I think. And when you really put yourself into something and weigh yourself out on stage, that sort of like satisfactory, I'm gonna call it like afterglow essentially. You're like, wow, that felt good. And when you, especially like once you get an audience, that like you're not losing anything by doing it.
One of the prime ways that we as human beings communicate with each other is through stories. We see that we love movies, we love television shows and things like that. Live theater is one of the only ways that we get to experience that storytelling communally in a way where we can interact with it. And so I think it brings us together as a community. It knits us together through shared experience, and then we're able to take that with us, and we're able to know that those bonds are formed solely through the experience of watching this art played out on stage.
Creativity is so important, and I think that it's taken for granted a lot, especially in school systems and things where people don't think that it's something that's necessary for everyday life, and they focus on the things like math and science. But math and science also, you need creativity for those kinds of things too, and like how is anything new going to be developed or created without that spark of artistic sense and creativity. And especially with theater.
People need art. There's so much crap going on in the world. You need something to just give you joy, give you hope. It would be awful if there were no theater. It would really be deadly.
Actors Theater has a broad influence in the artistic community of the city, along with several educational outreach programs in schools and summer acting camps. To learn more, visit www.theactorstheater.org. We see from the diverse theater groups in this program that live theater is very much alive and plays an influential role in the heart of our city. As the curtain closes, we open a new chapter of community, heritage, and education, shared through the talents, vision, and artistic excellence seen in our Columbus Live Theater groups. You're watching Heart of the City, All the World's a Stage.